Okay, so welcome back to the vlog, Project Hardman. A little bit late on getting this one up just because when life gets busy or when things creep in, it just emphasizes focusing on the things that need to get done and what takes priority in life at the moment. And essentially everything I do is centered around family, work and training. Anything in addition to that, such as these vlogs or social media stuff, that's kind of the extra stuff that, yeah, it's great to get it done when the time is there, but if the time's not there, focusing on the core focus of what I do, and that's my work, that's the training I get in, and that's looking after and spending time with the family. So things got a little bit busy for one way or another the last few weeks, so this is going to be catching up on week 3 and week 4 of training. So I've gone over the first week and the second week. So if we look at week 3 training, so we just have an overview of the week. Training wise, total duration was just under 12 hours, so 11 hours 56. What that week looked like: there were 2 swim sessions, there were 2 turbo sessions, 5 run sessions and 2 strength and mobility sessions, and 1 designated day off in the week. The main reason at the moment why the training is looking as it is, with run being priority number 1, bike being priority number 2 and the swim being number 3, is because there's some running events that I'm looking at targeting earlier in the season compared to the triathlon season and Hardman itself in August. So those things will change as the season goes on, but at the moment kind of run is priority number 1, and it's kind of getting a focus in the training. So what did that week of training look like? On Monday we started with an easy hour jog, ran it with the twins, ran it with the double buggy, and just easy 60 minutes to start the week, and also did a strength and mobility session on that day. Tuesday then was a slight progression from the week before, where it was a run session with a bit of work involved, and it was 3 by 1k, so 3 by 1k strong controlled efforts. It was quite icy that morning, so I just had to be a bit careful with footing in terms of sticking to paths that weren't slippy, but I was really looking forward to this session because it's always nice to kind of have a bit of hard work thrown in when you do a lot of easy stuff or when you're working on building your base. So it was 3 by 1k with 1k steady in between. So this time the 1Ks were 3:35, 3:33, 3:32. So consistent, slight negative split to it, which is always good. And then just the 1k steady in between were about 4:35 pace. So nothing crazy fast or crazy hard, but consistent and still building on from the week before. So enjoyed that session. That was really good. I also swam then on the Tuesday. So it was a 2.8k swim, and the main set within that swim was just 10 by 100 pull and 20 by 50 swim, all just kind of steady swimming. So just getting feel back for the water at the moment, incorporating a bit of drill work into my swims, or just having a focus area to work on when I'm swimming. And at the moment what I'm focusing on is my breathing. So typically speaking, my default is just breathing every 2 strokes, just because that's what naturally feels most comfortable to me. When I'm swimming in a pool, I'll breathe on both sides. So when I'm swimming a length, I'll breathe to the left, and when I hit the wall and turn around, I'll breathe to the right. So still breathing every 2 strokes, but still breathing bilaterally. What I struggle with is breathing every 3 strokes or every 5 strokes in terms of relaxing myself. So that's one thing I'm focusing on at the moment in my swimming, is during warm-ups and during sets, is focusing on breathing every 3 strokes so that I'm relaxing, focusing on my breath and focusing on that balance, left-right balance, breathing every 3 and breathing every 5 within warm-ups. So that's something I'm working on and getting easier the more I do it, as it's a really good way to if you're unsure, am I swimming easy enough, if you can't breathe every 3 strokes, then chances are you're not swimming it easy enough, because you need more and more oxygen if you have to breathe every 2. So it's a good way to slow yourself down, relax, and get some easy focused swimming in. So nothing massively special about the swim at the moment, just aiming to get that minimum 2 swims in a week. I've been doing okay with it so far. On Wednesday then, had some work on the bike, so it was a turbo session, with the main set being just 6 by 4 minutes of work, just at threshold or just above threshold. So those 4 minutes of work were in around 330 to 340 watts, with 5 minutes easy in between. So it was a 90-minute session, 6 by 4 minutes, and felt really good for those intervals, was consistent, was able to build through them and finish strong. And then second session on Wednesday was an easy hour with the twins. Again, just an easy buggy run. Friday then, just a longer turbo session, 2 hours, but just easy base endurance, followed by a swim, 3.5k swim, so the longest swim I've done so far in a while. And within that swim, the main set was some 50s, so it was 25 by 50s, and essentially it was building through the gears, so going kind of one drill, one easy, one steady, one moderate, one hard, so just working through the gears, trying to increase pace as the effort increased. Also did some stretch bands or some swim cords before it, to get some activation. Again, felt really good from doing that. Friday then was just a designated day off, so it gave me a chance to not get up at the crack of dawn to train. You still have to get up early, because that's what life is normal these days with getting up with the girls, but it meant I wasn't under pressure to get up super early to train, and then I could just get about a normal day. So that was Friday. Haven't had a designated day off like that in a while. Saturday then, early morning run session, and hit the hills for this one. So my usual Johnstown hill loop, and main set being 3 times 5 by 1 minute hill reps. So working hard, 1 minute up, hard but controlled, easy 2 minutes back down recovery. Probably one of my favorite sessions at the moment, just because it's very easy to do. It's just right around the corner from my house, and I love the hills. I love the hill work. It's very simple but very effective for getting some strength and some speed in the legs. And then I did a strength and mobility session as well. And then to finish off week 3, it was just an easy 50-minute run, incorporating some drills. So again, working on form, working on efficiency and activation. So that was week 3. Side note to that, the last few days of that week, I was feeling a bit more tired than normal. And something to kind of you get used to, kind of tiredness with days being so busy, maybe sleep sometimes being affected, but I usually track my kind of morning resting heart rate, and I'm really tuned in with how I feel. So whenever I feel I need to pull back or ease back, I'll know based off the data I have, but also subjectively how I feel. But just was feeling a bit more tired than normal. Wasn't sure why, but was just keeping it in mind. It was okay. I was still training was going okay, recovering okay, but just felt more tired than normal. So continued on into week 4. So week 4 is where things took a turn. It wasn't a great week, for a few reasons. So turns out, like, one of the twins kind of was sick for a few days, was kind of vomiting and stuff, and obviously had some bit of a bug. And eventually then I woke up one of the days and I felt really kind of weak, like strangely weak and tired, and just I knew I couldn't train that day, so I rested, and just wasn't feeling well at all. Usually with things like this, like if I'm a bit tired, so I usually try and eat my way through a little bit of sickness. Kind of if that can get you through and keep you feeling good, a lot of times that works for me, and I don't usually get sick. But this time it wasn't working. I couldn't eat my way through it. I just felt really weak, tired, kind of achy. So I had to take some time off training and just rest. The tricky thing here is especially when it comes to, say, the work side of things, when you work for yourself, having a sick day is a challenge, because unlike someone who's an employee and has a job and they can call in sick to work and just take the day off, for me it's different. I still have to be tapped into work to a certain extent to do the minimum that's needed. So that's hard when you're working for yourself, that you can't just not show up sometimes. And then also being a parent, your children don't care if you're sick. You still have to look after them and be mindful of that. So always a challenging time. So I ended up actually week 4, I ended up taking 2 days off from training. So even before I took those 2 days off, I slept longer in the morning. It was like I tried to catch up on some sleep to see if that was the reason, even though I half knew it wasn't, because I'm so used to my normal schedule. And even with some longer sleeps, I couldn't shake it. So I obviously picked up that bug or that virus. So I took 2 days off from training. That was Thursday and Friday. I had planned on doing a 5k running race on the Saturday, so the Rat Coffee GAA Club 5k race, because I had some of my athletes racing as well. And I just had to own up to that I wouldn't be able or capable of racing. So I did not start that race. I still went to it and met up with some of my athletes that were racing and did an easy run. But FOMO was definitely there, because I was looking forward to racing 5k, having a good crack at getting a good 5k effort in. So what did week 4 look like? Week 4 looked like training duration overall 4 hours 42 minutes. I managed to get in 1 swim, I got in 3 runs, and I got in no bikes that week, and 1 strength and mobility session. So not a good week training wise, but shit happens, these things happen, and you just have to adapt to keeping the bigger picture in mind, keeping longevity and consistency in mind. If I tried to train through it, chances are I would have prolonged recovery, and it would have had more of a negative impact over the next week as well. So the hardest thing to do as a triathlete is to pull yourself back, to take a rest day, or to go easy, but 99% of the time it's what's going to make you a better athlete and keep your consistency there for longer. So briefly looking at what I actually did that week: on the Monday, typical Monday, same as the week before, an hour easy run with the girls, strength and mobility session. Tuesday then I did a swim, and it was a 2.4k swim, where the main set was 4x200 pull and 16x50 swim, all just steady swimming. I actually really enjoyed that swim because I didn't have my Form swim goggles charged, and I actually forgot my watch. So I did that session all based off feel. I looked at the wall clock as well and used it, but I wanted to just, because it's an easy swim, pace doesn't really matter. So it's actually really quite liberating, swimming, not worrying about pace or times, and just tapping into how you feel, how the effort feels, and how you're actually moving through the water. And it turned out to be one of my better swims, where even though I was swimming easy, keeping the pace and the effort easy, I was swimming the 200s at around 140, 145 pace, like consistently, just based off feel. So it was actually a really good swim. Wednesday then is when kind of the sickness started to kind of creep in. I got an easy hour done with the twins, but after that then, that was early in the day. After that then is when I kind of started feeling a bit worse for wear, and Thursday and Friday then I took as days off, rested, just did a bit of work to get me through, and then on Saturday, which was supposed to be my race day, I still went to support my athletes. Managed to do an easy 10k run, and there's a lovely just over 1k loop around the GA pitches there, so I was able to get that in, have some coffee and cake with the guys after the race, and at least it was good to kind of get moving again and start to feel a bit more normal. I was feeling better after those 2 days of rest. I still did eat my way through those 2 days as best as I could. When in doubt, eat more. That's always my motto. So Saturday, just an easy 10k run. And then Sunday, I had planned on doing an easy turbo on Sunday. But I ended up just kind of sleeping in, just because I just felt like I needed just to sleep it that morning, and just not not get training in later that day or try squeeze it in. So just took that as another rest day. So it ended up being kind of 3 days off, or 3 rest days. And even though I didn't want to do it or didn't like doing it, it meant for the following day, or for the start of the next week, I was back feeling normal, feeling good to get going again. So not an ideal week, but still early days. Overall consistency is there. These things can happen whether it's work related, sickness related, etc. And it's just trying to manage them as best you can, keeping the bigger picture in mind. So that's where we're at the moment. If you have any kind of questions or comments on what I'm doing, or you're interested in me talking about anything in particular, please feel free to let me know. But that's where we're at the moment, 4 weeks into the challenge, and yeah, we're getting somewhere.